Hi, I'm an associate professor of computer science and engineering at the University of Texas at Arlington. I'm going to tell you a little bit about iSec, the Information Security Lab, which I co-direct with Dr. Donggang Liu. Before I get started on our research areas, I want to tell you about one aspect of security that's a little bit non-traditional. When you think about security, you're probably thinking about antivirus, maybe firewalls, intrusion detection systems, or encryption technologies. And while we study some things along those lines, we also study some non-traditional areas of security. To give you an idea, I'm going to tell you about a concept called operational security. Operational security is the idea that you can have a secret and you can use all sorts of technologies to keep that secret safe. But at some point you may need to use that secret, act on that secret, and if someone's watching you, if someone's watching the way in which you act, then they can maybe infer something about that secret. For example, in 1990, Iraq invaded the country of Kuwait, and when that happened, people at the Pentagon, the United States Department of Defense, were looking into what's going on, and all around the Pentagon, as they worked into the night, they were starting to get more and more pizza orders. And so the people who were working at the pizza parlors around town realized that something big was going on. They didn't know exactly what, but there was this leak of information that had nothing to do with Iraq or Kuwait or knowledge about the Defense Department internals or anything else like that. It had just to do with this rise in the pizza orders. That something that had nothing to do with the core pieces could still reveal something about that secret. So you have this leakage of information issue, which I think is really interesting and leads me to be interested in studying anonymity online. Now, what anonymity is a way of protecting your personal privacy on the internet. And when you are online and you're surfing the web, one of the things you can do if you want security is you can have HTTPS or SSL, which is the encryption technology that protects your information from the source to the destination, so from you to your website and back. And that's great, and it helps protect the content, but the fact that you're going to a particular website can reveal information. So for example, if you're going to a dating website or a political website or a religious website, that can tell some things about you that maybe you don't want your employer or your internet service provider to know, or maybe you don't want the site, let's say it's a medical site, that you don't want that site to be able to track you over time and have some idea about who you are and where you're coming from. To do this, you can use technologies like Tor, which make that information, the routing information that's used to connect you to those websites, and trying to hide that, obscure that, make that difficult for someone to figure out what's going on and who's talking to whom. And that's great, and that's one of the things that we work on in the lab is trying to improve those technologies, make them more secure and better performing. We're also interested in the question of how do we do this for the next generation of internet technologies, technologies that right now are just really experiments that are being cooked up in the lab, but may eventually become some of the things that take over as either replacements or an add-on to the existing internet. Another area of security that we study in the lab is mobile device security. So a lot of you would have a smartphone or a tablet, and on that device you're going to have apps. And the question is, how do you know that those apps are not malicious? They're not spying on you or stealing your information. And what a lot of people do, what most of us do, is we rely on some third party like the App Store, Google Play, or iTunes, or whatever app store it is, to actually look into these systems and kind of check them out, see if the code is malicious or not. And what Donggang Liu and his team are doing are developing tools that can help those Play stores actually do that job. Another important area of security that Donggang works on is software security. So you have a lot of software out there, and it turns out that it's not security software like antivirus and firewalls that give us security problems. What gives us security problems is regular software that regular developers are writing. and the bugs in those software, those pieces of software can be taken advantage of by hackers to steal information or to disrupt services. So the question is, can we develop tools that can help developers remove those bugs from their software, find them and remove them? And that's exactly what Donggang and his team are working on there. One of the other areas I work on is called usable security. One of the key problems with any system you can develop, and it can have all these great security features, is the fact that human beings need to use them. And humans have certain biases and they make certain types of mistakes, and we need to develop systems that can help users not make those mistakes or not have those mistakes to make and still get good security features and good results. So one of the key areas of that related to that is passwords. Naturally, you can think of passwords that are easy to remember, like password 123, but the problem with that is that they're really easy for hackers to guess. So what we'd like is to develop systems, and we've got a system you can see on the screen here, which is a graphical password system called QDR that we're developing in the lab. And these systems can help users remember passwords that are signed by the system. So they have a guarantee about how much security is available, but at the same time can we make these systems so that users can remember the password. So in this case, we're taking advantage of the image. So let's say you've been assigned zebra as your password, part of your password for this page. So you've got the zebra picture, you've got the word zebra. On the left hand side you can see there's a fact that says every zebra has a unique pattern of stripes. The position of the zebra is the same every time, so is the cheetah and the elephant and the koala. So you've got some spatial information that's also helping you. All of this together trying to make sure that you remember that zebra is your assigned password for this page. And then you can have a series of pages. If you remember all of them, you can log in. So that's the type of thing we're working on along with other aspects of passwords. One other thing I want to talk about briefly is censorship evasion. You may have heard of the Great Firewall of China. This is technology that China uses to make sure that their users can't get to sites like Twitter and Facebook, YouTube, the BBC, sites that we in the West take for granted that we can get access to and use these great technologies. So what we would like is to be able to help users get around that type of censorship, maybe access those sites, or if we could also develop tools to help those users who want to publish their own information, post blogs, or post things that would normally be censored on their own, on, for example, Chinese microblogging sites, the equivalent to Twitter, that we could help those users do that without being censored. All right, so that's it. That's some of the research areas that we're looking into in the iSec lab at the University of Texas at Arlington. If you're interested for more information, go to isec.uta.edu. Check out our publications, check out our projects, and also you can find our contact information so you could send us an email. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.